Hey guys, welcome back. I just wanted to do a hopefully little quick video talking about what this new update is going to be this weekend. So I prepared kind of like, not like a PowerPoint, but I prepared a bunch of tabs here to kind of go through and talk about this new update that's coming this weekend, the new events, and the characters that are going to be in it, and what I think that they're going to be doing. So if you guys haven't seen it already, this is the preview or the sneak peek that was given, and there's a lot here to take in. So the only thing I'm not really too sure about is this table over here. I don't really know what's going on with this table. Maybe that's something else, but what this update is Quella Magi Madoka Magica. As you can tell, these 4 units here are 1, 2, 3, 4, and then Kyoko, the 5th unit. This is an anime that was released like 12 years ago, and it's kind of dark. I know it doesn't look dark when you look at this picture, but believe me, it is. And this video is going to have quite a few spoilers for the anime, so if you guys don't want any spoilers, maybe you shouldn't watch this, because there'll be a lot that I'm talking about. But I'm gonna give you a quick rundown of what the anime is about and what you should be expecting. Well, so let's begin, I guess. So in this picture, we see 5 characters. The 5 characters we're seeing are Homura, Mami, Maruka, Sayaka, and Kyoko. And if you look in the background, actually, you see the spinning thing? That is a witch that we'll be talking about. So I'm wondering if this witch will be like a boss, or if, yeah, I'm not really sure what they're gonna do with it, or maybe she'll just be in the background. But okay, so to begin, the anime is about girls that become magical girls because of this little demon cat thing. Kyube, or the messenger of magic, Maho no Shisha. This guy, I know you can see my little cheat tool here. This guy basically gives girls that he sense has power. They give them a wish, and then they end up forming a contract to defeat witches, which in turn, well, it's a cycle really, because something that happens is when these girls become magical girls at the end of their cycle, or how, like, after a certain amount of time passes up, their soul gem, which QB creates as part of the contract, become these things called grief seeds. And once a magical girl's soul gem becomes a grief seed, they become a witch. And the witch that we're seeing here is Walpurgis Nacht. I don't know how to pronounce German, but if you can tell, it looks like a gear. And if we look here, this is the gear. This is the main bad guy in Madoka, and so I'm wondering how they're going to be implementing her. We'll have to see. But let's go ahead and, oh, and as you can tell, it's like based off a real German thing, Walpurgis Night. But let's go ahead and hop in here and take a look at the 5 characters and what I think that they're going to be doing in this update. So the first unit is going to be Maruka. She's the one in the center right here, and you can kind of see in her hand a bow, because that is actually her primary weapon, this bow. So due to the bow, I'm thinking that Madoka is going to be a hill unit, because her bow allows her to hit many enemies. And because of that, I think like a hill is a perfect spot for her, because, you know, with a bow and arrow, you definitely should be able to hit air. I believe it's going to end up looking something like a target circle AoE, kind of like what Dofi or Dio has. And it's going to be hitting air and ground units. Obviously ground units. Something else that I think Madoka might be bringing to the table is the fact that Madoka has a healing sort of magic. So Madoka is a actually healer sort type in the show. So maybe, just maybe, she might actually be able to heal your base. Maybe this will be another healing unit. I don't know if they'll do that with an event unit, but we'll see. Now, if this event is like CSM, there will be a secret portal, and unless they give this form to her evolution, I believe Gadoka, which is the god form of Maruka, which I don't really want to spoil how she gets there. Seeing this already is a huge spoiler. But basically, Madoka will turn into this form, and this form basically ends the whole witch thing in the anime. This is like the very ending of it, and this form is quite literally a healer. So if anything, this Madoka, like the base Madoka, the one we're seeing here, I think this one might just be a damage only unit, but if you can somehow get Gadoka, she has to be a support somehow. That's what I'm thinking. Because she heals all of the magical girls in the show, and due to that, I believe healer would be a good role for her. Or maybe she'll just be a cut and paste like how Denji and Chainsaw Man were the exact same unit. There were in fact 3 iterations, right? There was Chainsaw, Shiny Chainsaw, and then the secret Denji unit. I hope they don't do that again. I'm hoping that they make an interesting secret unit this time. So that's Madoka, probably going to be a hill unit with a circle AoE. And then maybe Gadoka, if they evolve into her, or if that's a secret unit, I think they'll be a healer. So let's go ahead and move on from her. Next, we have Homura, the first unit right here. If you can see in her hands, she's holding a shield here. This shield grants her a couple different abilities. One of them is that Homura's primary weapon of choice is, I guess, a sword, as well as a bunch of firearms. This shield that she brings allows her to basically, it's like a storage. You know how in like video games you have like infinite storage? Well, what she does is she stores many weapons that she has stolen from the Japanese army, actually. And yeah, she basically uses a bunch of weapons. Part of me wanted to say that like the joke Homura will be the next Metal Knight because of like all of like her arsenal basically. But there's something else that Homura can do, which makes me think that she'll be a support unit, and that is time travel. In the show, Homura is time traveling consistently in order to save Madoka from something or another. Somehow she always is like going to die or about to die, and so it's like Homura's job basically to save Madoka. So her weapon, this shield, is a way for her to basically store infinite items as well as time travel. So I'm thinking that she might have some sort of CC ability. Either a time stop or something like law that like resets time. Or maybe it'll be something that like, for example, when a unit walks into her range and you activate the ability, after X amount of seconds, that unit will like teleport back to that spot or something, which could be cool. But I'm not really sure what they're going to do with her. The fact that she's holding her shield instead of like a gun is actually kind of surprising to me, because that's kind of what she's known for, is like just shooting everything. You know, like her figure right here is literally a pistol. But that's Homura. I think she's going to be a ground unit that has a support ability of some sort of like CC. And if she doesn't have CC, I'm thinking she's going to be a very hard hitter. And then like as she upgrades, it'll switch from like pistol to rifle to RPG, stuff like that. So that's Homura. Not going to be hitting air, I believe, even though they have a gun. I think she'll be a support unit. Next, we have one of my favorite characters, Sayaka. Sayaka is, in my opinion, she's going to be a crit unit because she can summon swords and attack with them. Like, she can summon a single instance of a sword, slice with it, and then it goes away, as you can tell from these pictures. And, you know, usually units that have swords, and for some reason in my head, I always associate them with being a crit unit. So maybe she'll be a crit unit. However, also in the show, I don't know if they'll show it here. No. She is the first character to kind of go crazy. A bunch of things happen, and like the soul gem I was talking about before, when the soul gem becomes corrupted, it will turn into a grief seed, and then that grief seed will turn them into a witch. So I just want to kind of like go through this. She cries, and then the crying will hit her. This is her soul gem, and it's been completely corrupted. And then this in turn turns it into a grief seed. Oh, sorry. Like that. So this is the scene where Sayaka actually turns into a witch. And because of that, I'm thinking she might have some sort of berserk ability, where maybe it's like a passive where after X amount of hits, maybe she'll do extra damage, or maybe after X amount of kills, she will become like a witch or something. I don't really know what's gonna happen. I don't think they're gonna implement that. Maybe. I'm praying for these really cool implementations, but due to the fact that they are event units, my hopes aren't too high. But maybe a berserk ability that increases her damage every so often, or after she gets X amount of kills, her damage increases. I think she needs some sort of passive that kind of like ties into the craziness that she displays in the show. But my like 99.9% prediction is she's going to be a crit unit. So with this despair that she goes through, maybe it'll tie into it. Maybe it'll be her evolution form. I hope she gets some sort of cool berserk mode, but we'll have to see. But my final judgment for Sayaka is 50% crit unit, maybe, and physical ground. Maybe a cone. I can't see her being full AoE or a circle AoE. I'm thinking a cone, sort of like a combo hit, kind of like what Chainsaw does. But yeah, that's Sayaka. And so I said Sayaka is one of my favorite, but Mami is probably my most favorite. I don't know why. I just think she's really cool. She has an ability similar to Sayaka in that how Sayaka can create blades, Mami can create guns. And so I think she is going to be a hard-hitting unit. I think her final upgrade is going to most likely be a really big explosion with maybe multi-hit, because you can see here her title finale is it's kind of massive. What I think will happen is she will start out with like small guns, kind of like Homura, and then she'll upgrade to probably Tito Finale in her evolution form, and it's probably going to be a really, really strong hit, kind of like Frieza, but on a long SPA. That's what I really think she might be doing. So far we have Madoka, who will be a heal unit in my opinion, maybe with a support ability. Homura, who will have a time stop and cycle through her guns as you upgrade her levels. And then we have Sayaka, who will be a crit unit with maybe some sort of berserk form. And then Mami, who is going to be having a giant circle target AoE, which could be really cool. I am super excited to see what she does. She might be my favorite unit. Like, she'll probably be the first one I want to upgrade if possible. But yeah, she's super cool in the show because she's one of the most experienced. She is the most experienced magical girl when the other ones have like started to become it, because she had been doing it before this. before the other 4 girls got into it. So yeah, she's really cool to watch in the show. And the reason I think it might be multi-hit is just because it could be like a big explosion that's kind of drawn out. So that's my mommy prediction. The last unit. Oh yeah, so actually let's look here. So yeah, Homura has the shield. Mommy definitely is holding 2 guns right here. Madoka has her bow and arrow. Sayaka, I can't really see, but it looks like she has a sword in her hand. And then Kyoko's weapon's super sick, actually. Kyoko uses a spear, but the spear can, like, extend due to a chain inside of it. So most of the time it looks like this, where it's, like, all put together. But she can take it out and, like, extend it and, like, use the chain as sort of, like, maybe a restraint. Or, you know, just to extend her range of, like, attacking. I think Kyoko has a good chance of being a full AoE unit. Just looking at this attack right here where she's spinning the blade around. It's kind of similar to Tengen in how he like throws the blade around and it like spins and then a bunch of explosions come around. I think Kyoko can do something similar to that, maybe with not all the flashy explosions, but using fire and her chain whip somehow. I think she could be a really sick unit. Like look at this picture. She hits everything around her. So I think her being a full AoE unit is not something too out of the ballpark. Please. I like her a lot. I'm thinking she's going to be similar to Mommy in that she'll be a hard hitter with a long SPA because that's kind of the role she fits in the show. She's like she's like not the tank of the group, but she is a hard-hitting magical girl. Now, if they don't do the full AoE with like the chain whip going all around her, spoiler, she ends up having to be the one that kills Sayaka after she becomes a witch. So Kyoko versus Sayaka witch. Yeah, this is Sayaka's witch form right here. And what she ends up doing is she has to like sacrifice herself. And she like envelops herself in a bunch of flames and she destroys her soul gem. But before she can turn into a witch herself, she kind of takes Sayaka out with her. Or Sayaka's witch form. She's not even Sayaka at that point. She's some witch named Octavia. It's crazy. Oh yeah, here. You can see her like throwing it, and then at this point it'll like break. And yeah. So Kyoko, if she doesn't have like this whip type move, I think she might have some sort of thing where it'll be like a fiery AoE explosion around her. Either case, I think she's full AoE. So if we're gonna run from the top here, let's go ahead and just go to this and see all the characters real quick. So Kyubei is probably gonna play the role of the quest giver. So he's gonna be the one, you know, like sort of like Makima did for CSM. He's gonna be the one that gives you the quest. Madoka, if they have Gadoka, it'll be a separate unit, but Madoka is probably a heal unit that has that uses her bow and arrow with a, you know, target circle AoE. Homura, maybe some sort of time stop or time rewind or something. She's gonna be a time support. She's gonna be a support that uses time to manipulate things or something. Sayaka will be a crit unit, in my opinion, with some sort of berserk passive. Mommy is going to be a hard-hitting single target AoE unit. Single target as in like the single target circle, like I mentioned, like Dofi and Dio have. And I think she might be multi-hit with the explosion that it does in the Tito finale. Kyoko, full AoE hard-hitting unit, maybe either the whip AoE attack or maybe, you know, exploding herself. Have you ever seen a Shakugan no Shana like Tenpa Josai? Those are the 5 units, and then if there's Gadoka as a secret unit, I think she'll be a healer. So that's kind of summing up what my thoughts are on this. Sorry if that was a lot. I've been kind of really excited to talk about it all day since the update dropped, but I didn't get to see it until like I got to work, so I couldn't, you know, make a video as soon as it dropped. But yeah, I'm really excited for this update. I'm really excited to grind it. I'll be streaming it if I can. So make sure you watch it if you guys are free once the time for the update is dropped. Anyway, that's all for now. Thank you guys so much for watching until the end. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.